Hello, this is Molly Schneider, and I am teaching chapter 1.8 of the Pre-Calculus book. And this lesson is about coordinate geometry. So we have our coordinate plane here, and we have our x-axis, which is this line here, and then the y-axis here. And then we also have the four quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the ordered pair would be like an XY. So it'd be like 1, 1. So you'd have to go find 1, and then go up to the point, which was previously covered. So then we can go to the next page, zoom in a little bit. Like applying our coordinate plane to something would be if it asks you to find the intercepts. So the x-intercept would be where it crosses the x-axis, and then like the y-intercept would be the opposite, so wherever the points cross the y-axis. So then like for an equation like x squared minus 4, if it asks you to graph it, the easiest way to do it would be to make a little chart here. So we would do like x, that's kind of big, and then y, and then you plug in a couple points, -2, fab 5, Mr. Contract, 0, 1, and 2. And then we'd plug in, you'd have to plug it into the equation, x squared minus 4. So if you put -2 in for it, minus 4, and then you would end up with 0. And you go throughout the points, so it's just to save a little time. It's going to be 0, -3, -4, -3, and 0. So then to graph this, we're going to use our ordered pairs. So it's going to end up, if you go -2, and then 0s are going to be a point there. And then -1, -3, point there, this is being difficult, there. And then 0, -4, so we're going to do another one there. It doesn't like to draw points. There, well, that works. And then we have the point 1, -3. And then the point 2, 0. So it's going to be the opposite. So even though points are kind of messy, it's just going to end up making a parabola. And this would work for any of the equations that it would give you. And then another way to use like the coordinates to do something would be the distance formula. So the distance formula is d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y squared, or y2 minus y1 squared. So an example would be which of the points of P1, -2, or Q8, 9 is closer to the point A, which is coordinates 5, 3. For something like this, you're going to have to take like your A point and find the distance with Q, and then take your A point again and find the distance with P, and see which one is smaller. So we're going to do that here. So it's going to be D, and then like just keep them labeled, so be A, P. So we're doing the distance between A and P equals, and then we're just going to fill it in. So it's going to be x2 minus your x1 squared plus y2, 3 minus the -2. That's going to be all square rooted. Squared. So then when you simplify it all, put it in your calculator, it's going to equal the square root of 41. So now we know the distance between A and P, so we're going to have to find the distance between A and Q, so we can know which one. we're just going to do the same thing, fill in the equation. So you're going to get 50 squared plus, plus, that's difficult, 3 minus 9 squared. So once you do all your math again, you're going to get the square root of 45. So in this case, the point P is closer to A than point Q is, because this one is smaller. Okay, and next we're doing, we'll zoom in, the midpoint formula. So this is kind of the same thing where it's going to give you 4 points, and you just have to find basically the midpoint. So this is what this is saying. Show the quadrilateral with vertices P, Q, R, and S is a parallelogram by proving that its two diagonals bisect each other. So for this one, what it wants you to do is just fill in the formula with your X's and Y's, and then draw a graph showing how they bisect each other. So, oh, that's thick. So let's see, get that a little smaller for you. So it's gonna be 4, or not, that's cool too. 4 plus 2 over 2. And then keep filling in, 4 plus 7 over 2. So that's one of your points when you do the x1 plus x2. So that's going to simplify to the point 311 over 2. And then you would do it again for y1 plus y2. So for that, you're going to get 1 plus 5 over 2, 2 plus 9 over 2. So then if you simplify that, you're going to get also 11 over 2. And it's always going to be like that, otherwise they don't bisect each other, because this is showing that this is the midpoint. So then we're just going to draw a quick graph to just help us show that this is what it's saying. So it's saying 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And 9. So we're going to graph each of these points. So 1, 2, which is point P, and 4 is point Q. But I can get this going there. And then 5, 9 is point R. Let's put that on. And then 2, 7 is S. So 2, 7. Oops, that's wrong. Let me just erase this. It's supposed to go a bit higher. Let's go there. And then the point S is 2, 7. So we're going to be here. And then you can see that if you would graph the point 3 and then 11 over 2, it would actually be the point where all these intersect. So here. So that's how you find the midpoint with the formula. And then there should be, the last thing I have is just a quick lesson on circles. So here we have the equation of a circle, and then I'm going to teach you how to graph it and find, sometimes it asks you to find the equation of a circle, so I'm going to teach you how to do that. So if it says ever that it wants you to graph, an example would be x squared plus y squared equals 4, which you would end up doing is you can see that in this equation here, right here, it tells you that r squared is over here, so we know that 4, or r squared, equals 4. So meaning that if you would square root both sides, that cancels out. Square root r would equal 2. So then we know if it doesn't tell you, it's just assumed that the middle is always 0, 0. So we're just going to go ahead and draw that. We know that the center point of the circle is 0, and then we know it has a radius of 4. So you just go ahead and on all sides draw 4, 2, 3, 4, and then points, and then try your best just to make a circle. And that's like if they ever asked you to graph such an equation, you could do it that way. But then sometimes it wants you to find the equation of a circle. So for this one, when it gives you the point, so this would be the center to -5, and then it has a radius of 3. So we're just going to go ahead and fill that in. From the equation, also up here, we know that this is h, oh that was really bad, h and then k here. So we can just go ahead and fill it in using that information. And then, so it's going to be x minus, and then h is going to be our 2, as you can see, squared plus y, parentheses, minus a -5 is going to be plus squared, and then 3 squared, which is 9. So that would be your equation of a circle. If it ever asks you to find it, you would need all the information there to do that. And then to graph it is how I showed you above. So that was lesson 1.8 by Molly Schneider. Thank you.